Welcome to the Soulcery Podcast, your sacred space to delve into spiritual tools, topics, and practices that will illuminate your path of soul remembering and healing. I'm your host, Ligia Costa, a soul guide, alchemist, soul writing coach, and the creator of the Trust Pathway. I'm deeply grateful to have you here with me. Together, we will embark on a profound exploration of self-discovery and healing, unlocking the secrets that lie within. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Soulcery Podcast, a podcast where we explore the depths of healing, transformation, and the beautiful unfolding of the soul. And today we will journey into a topic that lies at the core of self-healing, and is all about how we can open our souls to healing by recognizing our patterns, confronting our fears, and remembering who we truly are beneath the roles and the masks that we wear. Before we begin, I would like to invite you to reflect on a question. Who are you when no one is watching? When the masks are dropped and the roles we play are stripped away, who remains? Who are you when you are alone? No one is around you. Who is the true you? We often find ourselves really entangled in these patterns of thought and behavior that feel so heavy. It feels like a burden. And these patterns aren't always obvious at first, but they have a way of creeping into our lives and seeping into our daily thoughts, especially when we are feeling low or uncertain and even scared. Perhaps you have noticed yourself sinking into that glooming thinking of feelings of I'm not worthy, I don't have what it takes, I'm not good enough. And where the same thoughts arise over and over and over again, it kind of echoes the past. And I've discussed in different episodes here that when you are triggered in the present moment, when something happens in the here and now that really makes you lose your mind or get really, really triggered, often it's nothing to do with the present. It's nothing to do with the situation itself, but something from the past that you remembered, even on an unconscious level, and that's why you overreacted in a certain way. Because more often than not, it's connected to something so much deeper, an old wound, a forgotten experience that still holds power over us. And the way we respond to a situation today can be a mirror of a past moment where we felt powerless, we felt misunderstood, we felt rejected. And as women, we also carry the weight of hormonal fluctuations, the ebb and flow of our own cycles, which can intensify the emotional turbulence we experience on a daily basis. And you might notice when you are in your bleeding cycle, you are more susceptible to feel things more deeply. You are more vulnerable. You take things more personally. You feel more sad or stressed. And because we are so vulnerable during that time, those old wounds and old experiences can impact us more during those times. But when those past experiences are activated, when the chains of thought start pulling us deeper and deeper into our emotions, something else happens. And guess what? It's fear, our old friend. Fear enters the picture. And fear is tricky. It sneaks in when we are most vulnerable, and it convinces us that the present danger is far greater than it really is. And also, fear is our ego's way of trying to protect us, but it does so by keeping us stuck. And when I mean stuck, is stuck mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. And you might recognize this fear as a feeling of paralysis in a way. That sense that no matter how much you want to move forward, something is holding you back. You just don't know what it is. And often this is because the fear we feel is tied to false core beliefs that have rooted themselves deep within us. So when you find yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, these are signs that you let fear run the show. And these beliefs aren't truths. They are just distortions that arise from fear. And fear has many, many faces, right? It can be the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of vulnerability, of disappointment. But at its core, fear just wants to keep you safe. And safe in the known, in the comfort zone, away from anything that could cause pain or disappointment. So it keeps you inside this bubble where you know what's familiar, right? But yet, the paradox is this. In staying safe and in staying in this comfort zone, we often end up sacrificing the life we truly want to live. But what if I told you that your power lies in making a choice? And a choice from a place of self-love. Because that is possible. In every moment, you have the ability to choose differently. To choose love over fear. To recognize that fear's job is just to protect you. It's just to keep you safe. But it no longer needs to dictate your life. You can thank it for its service, but you do not have to let it control you. Because you are not defined by fear. Let that sink in. You are not defined by fear. You are not defined by the masks you wear or the roles you play. You are so much more. These masks, the ones we put on as mothers, daughters, as partners, as healers, as professionals, are not who we are. They are the roles we step into, depending on the situation, depending on who is around us. But they do not define our essence. Your true self lies behind those masks, behind the layers of identity. And your core essence is waiting, always has been, and always will be. So, I would like to invite you to recall a moment in your life when you felt fully present, completely immersed in the experience you were living, with no judgment and no roles to play. Maybe this was a time you felt connected to nature, or when you were lost in a creative moment where you kind of were in this flow and you just lost track of time. Because in that moment, there was no ego telling you how to feel or how to behave. There was no fear whispering that you weren't enough or that you weren't safe. In that space, you were free. And that is where your soul essence resides. Is in the moments of pure presence, where you don't need to prove yourself, where you don't need to perform. In that stillness, you can remember who you truly are. And the reason why I emphasize the word remember is because I truly believe that we do not become anything new. In this self-healing journey that we go through, that we choose to go through, and this spiritual journey that we also choose to go through, this growth, this self-development, this personal journey is not about becoming our true selves or becoming our higher selves or who we are meant to be, because we were already born that way. Before the conditioning, before we started to create core beliefs and core wounds in our development years as children, before we started to create trauma responses because we didn't felt safe growing up due to experiences, due to needs that weren't met as children, before all of that, we already had everything in us. We were born already with everything in us that we needed. Our core essence is there. So this self-healing journey, this personal development journey, is about remembering that. Remembering how we were born. The skills, the gifts, the essence, the true essence and beliefs we were born with. So to me, my belief is that we do not become anything. We remember who we truly are. And when we open ourselves to our essence, we begin to hear the whispers of our soul, the gentle nudges of our intuition, the quiet guidance that we've been blocking because we have been listening to fear for so long. And it's in here, in this sacred space of self-connection, that your soul's calling becomes clear. And it's here that healing begins. And I'm having goosebumps just saying this because it feels so true. But until we embrace that essence, until we are open to remember who we truly are, until we release the fear that clouds our vision, we might find ourselves making choices that are based on our old wounding, our old beliefs, rather than from the truth of who we are. I believe that healing at its core is not about fixing what's broken, because you are not broken. You don't need fixing. It is about remembering that you are whole, that your essence has always been enough. It's about honoring the light within you that has never dimmed, even when fear tried to obscure it. So how do we begin to heal? How do we do that? We begin by facing the fear, not to fight it, but to understand it, to sit with it, to see it for what it is. And it is a mechanism of protection. It's just there trying really hard to keep you safe, to protect you. And when you have that awareness and understanding, then you get to choose differently. You get to choose love. You get to choose to trust in your own ability to heal, to reconnect with your soul essence, and to let that essence guide you. Because if you think about it, this journey is actually a process of unveiling. But as you continue to release the layers of fear and step into the truth of who you are, you'll find that your soul has been waiting all along. And waiting for what? Waiting for you to remember. Waiting for you to remember who you are. Not to become anything. You don't need to create another persona. You don't need to create another mask, another role. You just need to go back to the truth. You just need to go back to that place, that little vulnerable baby that had no filters at the time, because there was no wounding, there was no trauma, there was no conditioning, not limiting beliefs. Your soul just been waiting for you to remember. So today I would like to leave you with this invitation. Take a moment, just one moment, to sit in stillness, to let go of the roles, the expectations, the fears, and simply be. Just simply be. Because in that space, you will find your soul essence waiting for you. And in that essence lies your power. It lies your freedom and your healing. And if today's episode spoke to you and you feel ready to explore your soul's true essence, I would like to invite you to dive deeper with the Soul Calling Blueprint. I'm opening a few spaces before Christmas because this is just the perfect gift for yourself, to yourself, or to a loved one. This is a sacred, personalized journey where I guide you to reconnect with your soul's purpose, where we peel away the layers of fear, of old beliefs, and rediscover who you truly are beneath the masks that you wear. By combining all of this information in your natal chart and numerology map and human design, I create a personalized report that will shed light on your passions, your talents, your natural gifts, your best career paths, and your personality strengths and challenges. But even more, I also shed light on why you might be feeling stuck. What is in your karma, in your chiron, for instance, in your past lives that might be influencing your choices and your beliefs in this present life. So if you have been feeling at the crossroads, not feeling fulfilled, or not really sure about what you are good at and what you are meant to do in this lifetime, this in-depth report is all you need. I will leave the link in the show notes, but you can also go to www.ligiacosta.co.uk, and at the top you click on work with me and then choose readings, or you go on the search bar and you just type Soul Calling Blueprint and all the information will be there, as well as how you can book this service. Again, as I said, I open just some limited spaces because this is such a very in-depth report, usually 50 to 60 pages long, and it takes me roughly 2 weeks to complete. So if this is something that you'd like to book, just to let you know that spaces are limited, and also there is payment plans available if that's something that you'll be interested in. Before I love you and leave you, I'll pull a card from the Trust Journaling deck. Oh my god. And the card that I pulled is from the Unravel suite. And the soul inquiry is, when am I me? Without masks. Just my true, raw me. When am I me? Without masks. Just my true, raw me. And the affirmation is, I am connected to my true self. I can't make this up. I literally just shuffled the cards and I picked a card randomly using my hand just hovering on the card, and then I feel the tingling sensation and I pull the card. That's how I do the readings every time on the podcast. Usually, I would say 99% of the time, the cards that I pull are spot on with the conversation. But this one, oh my gosh, this one is just, it wins. It's all we talked about today. Actually, the first question I asked in this episode was, who are you when no one is looking? When no one is around? And this whole inquiry in this card is asking, when am I me? Without masks, just my true raw me. So basically, it's all we talked about. Also, I have just a few of these decks available, the physical decks available in stock. You can also go onto my website and get it. You will get a complimentary journaling workshop with the deck. So again, another great Christmas gift to yourself or to a loved one. And you can also, if you are a healer, if you run women's circles, if you run moon circles or rituals, or you are a coach, you can also use this with your clients. Absolutely, you can use this with your clients or on your circles, for some journaling inquiries. These are really good. I have some clients that use them with their coaching clients in their circles, and they absolutely love it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please remember that true healing begins when you honor your essence and when you step into your power. And if you're ready to take that step, you can go onto my website to learn more and begin your soul's journey today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Soulcery Podcast and for holding space for this conversation. It is truly magical to be able to walk with you on this journey of soul healing and inner transformation. If you resonated with this episode and found it valuable, I would be grateful if you could leave a review on iTunes. Your feedback helps me reach more souls searching for guidance and healing. For more guidance and soul wisdom to support soul awakening women through the journey of alchemy, please visit my website www.ligiacosta.co.uk. Love and healing to all. See you on the next one.